Hey guys, so I'm back. I'm sure there might be a couple people wondering where the hell have I been for the past week. For anybody's curious to what happened to me, um, when I did my Hateful Eight review, some might notice, some might have not, that I started to sound a little sick. Um, well, over the next few days after I did that review, I got really sick. A full blown pneumonia to the point that I was in the hospital for like 3 days and was not able to do anything at all. I've had to miss work for like the last 2 weeks because I've been very sick. It doesn't help also that the weather is really freaking cold out right now. It's like 14 degrees, and I haven't been outside to do anything for the past week or so. So I posted on my Facebook that I had to, because of that, I had to delay my top 10 list a week longer, unfortunately. Um, but I will be doing that within the next week or so. I just have one more movie to catch up on, and that's about it. And then I'll do my top 10 list. But, anyways, I'm back at kind of full recovery. I still have a full blown pneumonia. I'm still kind of recovering, but I went out to finally catch up on some movies that I've been trying to get around to seeing the last week, but unfortunately, because of being in the hospital, I couldn't. First being The Big Short. This is a movie that I went to right away. I wanted to go see right away because this was leaving my movie theater. This coming Friday, it's gonna be leaving my movie theater, and I've been hearing really strong things about this ever since it came out. It's a movie that didn't really interest me from the trailers. I just didn't look like my cup of tea, but because of the word of mouth it was getting and the Oscar buzz it was getting, I was like, okay, whatever. It's a movie about the housing bubble, and it's being directed. It's a comedy being directed by Adam McKay, a guy who I really don't care too much as far as comedies go. He's a guy who's made Talladega Nights, both Anchormans, Step Brothers, the other guys, name a few. And I haven't always been the biggest fan of his films. So I was like, that's a weird choice for him to be doing this kind of movie because this is a very tough subject to make a comedy out of. But it had a really good cast and everything. I was like, all right. And like I said, it's been getting Oscar buzz. And you know what? I didn't love this movie, but it was a really good movie. It was a really good movie. I will not deny it. Like, from top to bottom, this movie is really well done. Really well done. From comedy wise to acting wise to it's a really unique. This is definitely his most unique comedy I've ever seen him do. Probably his best one. I hope he does more shit like this. This is it's a well acted movie. Like I said, it's a very well acted movie. Steve Carell, I thought, was probably gave the best performance of his career. I haven't seen Foxcatcher, so if anybody asks, I know people say Foxcatcher's best performance. I still haven't seen it. I wish I have. But outside of that, this was a really good role for him. His acting was really good. There's some scenes where he has to show his acting chops, and he does a really good job. Like, he should, if it wasn't, if the best actor category wasn't pretty much already just being given right now to Leonardo DiCaprio, I would say he would be a favorite. He is really good. Also, I know there was like nominations been going out towards Christian Bale, who's unique, playing a unique Christian Bale character, a guy who's has a glass eye, who is the guy that finds out, like in 2005, that this all these horrible loans are gonna end up crashing the housing market and everything else, and nobody will listen to him until it's too fucking late. He knows it and he bets against it. He's he's like this social outcast and just sits in his room and listens to hard rock music the whole time. I kind of like this character. Honestly, it was like his character's more of a supporting role, and I kind of wish they would. I kept wanting them to cut to what the hell he was doing every time he was doing something weird. I love this. I love this character. Ryan Gosling was great as a smarmy, smart ass kind of guy that helps. Like is one of the guys that figures out what's going on, along with Steve Carell, and helps him and Steve Carell go into business with each other. Kind of accidentally. Ryan Gosling's great in this movie. I think the only reason it got rated R was because of the fucking language in this film. This movie has a lot of F-bombs and everything else, especially from Ryan Gosling. You also have Brad Pitt play. Who's Brad Pitt? I love seeing Brad Pitt in this. There's a lot of there's Brad Pitt, Marissa Tomei's in here, Melissa Leo's in there. Blanket, you'll miss her. I'm thinking I'm forgetting somebody else here. A lot of weird fucking cameos, which I'll talk about that in a second. But anyways, the one thing I did like about this movie is that it balanced the comedy aspect and the drama aspect pretty goddamn well. This is a very tough subject, and this movie, by the end of it, even though it is a comedy, it is, for the most part, a comedy, it will kind of leave you pissed off by the end of this thing. I walked away, just furious. Not about the movie itself, but just in general, that this shit actually fucking happened. The housing bubble, everything else, how all these asshole bankers got away with what they did. It doesn't shy away from that. Nobody got justice. And American people got screwed over. And basically that's the end of the movie. It's no happy ending. It's just, this is what fucking happened. And it pisses you off by the end of it. And it is kind of funny. I don't know the whole true story behind the what this movie's based off of, but, But yeah, it will piss you off. It will. It doesn't shy away from being, the last half hour is pretty goddamn serious, dead serious, and it needed to be. It was funny when it needed to be, but it also is very, very serious especially when it needs to be. The comedy in this movie was unique, to say the least. That was one of the things that I kind of liked a lot about this movie, was the comedy in this. I kind of compare it to The Wolf of Wall Street and that style of comedy, even though I did like Wolf of Wall Street better. I know people will say this was better than Wolf of Wall Street, but Wolf of Wall Street was so fucking insane and off the wall and something I've never seen done before in a long time, that this was pretty straightforward in some ways. But the comedy in this movie is unique. Where do I begin? Okay, it's very breaking the fourth wall. And there's a lot of breaking the fourth wall where the characters are talking to the audience throughout the whole thing. It's like Deadpool, like the financial version of Deadpool, apparently. Like Leonardo DiCaprio would do throughout Wolf of Wall Street. He did that a lot. And also they would do a lot of things where, like in Wolf of Wall Street, where they would dumb it down for people like me that have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. I like that. It's doing it without being too insulting, because most of the people watching these movies are probably not going to know what the fuck they're talking about. And the best ways, what made it different from Wolf of Wall Street is that the way they would explain things is that they would just have random cameos from random celebrities that just came out of fucking nowhere. Like Anthony Bourdain explaining Bonds, and also you got Margot Robbie. That was hilarious. When that happened, I went, what the fuck did I walk into Wolf of Wall Street too? She's just sitting in the bathtub and she's explaining something, and then she goes, get the fuck out of my house. That was pretty funny. Now we get the fuck. Selena Gomez at one point explains, it's like, what the fuck am I watching? Like it only does it like I think maybe 3 or 4 times, but it was like it was so weird. It was so off-putting, but it was kind of like, all right, this is kind of unique. I'd never seen this. I've never seen this before. Like even Wolf of Wall Street didn't have random cameos that just came out of nowhere, like this did. Um, if there's anything I didn't like, and this movie is very complex, very very complex. It's a lot happening in this movie. This is a movie I haven't had to sit and watch more than once. Um, and a lot of the stuff that they would talk about, even when they explained it, just went right over my head. Like, I'm not a financial person. I'm not saying I didn't know what was going on. There was parts at the beginning I was like, what the fuck? Like, I was like, even when they were trying to explain it to me, I'm like, that still makes no... Wait, back up. One of those movies I wish I had a rewind button. Like, well, wait a minute, wait, what? If you're not paying attention, you're going to be lost. Let's just say, like, it's one of those movies. You better not go to the fucking bathroom at all. You're going to be lost. There's so much going on in this movie. A lot. And it's... For a subject like this, you would expect this kind of movie. Like I said, it's really fucked up what, like, that this shit did happen. I don't know how, like, oh yeah, that was the other thing I did like. This is the only fucking movie based off a true story, quote, where they will just flat out say, there will be characters that'll break the fourth wall and say, this didn't really happen this way, but this is how this movie's presenting it. That's basically, that is the kind of comedy you get. That was kind of funny and different. I've never seen that done before. I kind of like that, actually. It was refreshing, you know what? I know some people might say that might be off-putting, but that was refreshing. I actually kind of enjoyed that. Like, every time that there would be an inaccuracy in this film, they would point it out. Like, they were like, this didn't happen this way. Like, characters would just flat out stop the movie and say, it didn't happen this way. That was kind of funny. Yeah, and like I said, this is a movie that I probably ought to watch more than once. I recommend seeing it, definitely in the theater. It's a very good movie and it's a little lengthy on the side. Like, it does drag a little bit. Like, I was like, I don't know how much. Like, I was like, man, I don't know how much of this movie I've sat through, and I'm like, oh shit, it's only been less than an hour. Shit. But like the last hour kind of went through pretty quickly. Honestly, it got better and better as it went along, I thought. But I recommend it if you can see it before it leaves your theater. Only new trailer I got with this was Zoolander 2, the new trailer for that. I liked the first one. I thought it was pretty funny. It's been a long time since I've seen it, but I remember it being pretty funny. This one, it's like with Anchorman. You're like, what's the point of making a sequel now? But alright, whatever. I don't know. It doesn't look bad. I like Ben Stiller a lot, and this looks like it'll be goofy enough that I could get in behind it. Yeah. Whatever. That's as far as trailers go. I'll be back here in a couple minutes with my other review in it. A couple minutes, like I said.